Hola, ¿qué tal? Lunaticoin here speaking. And you probably haven't heard me before, at least not speaking English, because I'm the host of a Spanish-only podcast called Lunaticoin as well. Starting my second season this September 2019, I also decided to record some English micro podcast. In English because it is borderless language and allows me to reach any project and anybody. And micro because the main target still is the Spanish audience, and I am looking forward to translate them all for the Spanish crowd, and also I'm not looking for a monster podcast. In this first chapter of the foreign exchange, I have the pleasure to share 9 minutes with Max Keidun, CEO of the peer-to-peer exchange Hodl Hodl. With him, I discuss general topics about their exchange and other dexes, as well as their recent decision to open source their code. Nothing else to add from my side, so let's jump into it. Hi Max, and thank you for joining me here because I know it's a busy time here in Riga in the conference, so thank you for joining. And also in this first podcast in English. I don't know if you knew it, but it's the first, so let's see how it works. Okay, so to be fast, what's Hodl Hodl? If you could give me the elevator pitch, like what is it fast? How would you define it? Explain it.
So Hodl Hodl is basically non-custodial peer-to-peer exchange, which means that we don't hold any funds, nor crypto nor fiat. Instead of holding and allowing our users to trade within our wallet, we just create for each standalone contract that is, or for each standalone trade on Hodl Hodl, we just create a unique multi-signature account on a public Bitcoin blockchain and escrow, which through the trade is happening actually. So in that sense, we are somewhere in between BISC and local Bitcoins, to that extent that we're web-based as local Bitcoins, but we are using 2 out of 3 multi-sig system as BISC does.
So one concern that some people might have with peer-to-peer exchange, decentralized exchange of this matter, is the speed of exchange. No, normally a lot of people want to get the money fast, the exchange fast, so they go to centralized exchanges. I wanted to ask you, of course, it depends on the two peers. No, it depends on the people that is trading, but how fast can it be to exchange? If two people want to exchange really fast, how fast can it be?
Well, actually, if you already have a counterparty, then it will be most probably, depends on the payment method that you use to buy or to sell BTC. Like if it's, for example, Revolut payment method, then it's the trade might be over in 20 minutes, basically from the beginning. But we also have a Lightning mode on our exchange where you can trade through the Lightning. And to be honest, Hodl Hodl is the only exchange out there that actually allows you to trade through the Lightning channels, not just deposit or take money from the exchange via Lightning. So with Lightning, we've been testing it, and some of our users actually made trades. And those who are using fast payment systems, where the settlement happens like within payment system, like for 1 minute or even less, they've been able to trade to finish the trade under 4 minutes. So basically it's a peer-to-peer exchange and the trade happens like in 4 or 5 minutes, which is very fast for peer-to-peer exchange.
Another concern that happens in peer-to-peer exchange is the payment methods, no? And the concern is to not be scammed at the end of the day, no? Because of that, I wanted to ask you and also explain that Hodl Hodl has a very nice reputation system. No, you create your user, you can be private, you don't have to show your real name, you have your nickname, and in the reputation you can see things like if you have had any dispute, how long normally this user takes to do a trade, how many has trade, and a little bit the background. Do you think that with this kind of reputation systems, it gives you more easiness of use of these payment methods, like for example a wire transfer that would be like the fastest, but for example in BISC you might not risk because you don't know with whom you are trading. But here with this reputation system, this might make it easier then?
Yeah. We extensively improving our reputation system and the rating system as well, but we also have a guides for people that shows the safe and unsafe payment methods. Like for example, PayPal can be reversed. The payment can be reversed pretty easy. With Bankwire, it's a bit more difficult. So we have some kind of characteristics, or to say like level of security for different payment methods, which we have in our guides and we describe it in our frequently asked questions section. Also, we have some limits implied for new users, like not limits in terms of KYC/ML, of course, no, but limits in terms of if you are a young and new customer to Hodl Hodl, you might not be able to close larger trades because you don't have any reputation on that. And also the interesting thing, we have a section which is called peer-to-peer profiles. So if you have a reputation on local bitcoins and Paxful, you can easily transfer these data to Hodl Hodl, and people will see that you are reputable, but only on a different platform.
Also, as this is like the multisig works as an escrow, no? So funds, one side puts funds, the other side says, yeah, I received them, and then the deal is done and freed, no? I wanted to ask you what happens in case of dispute, no? That there is some kind of dispute. Who takes care to solve it?
Well, of course, we act as an arbiter or as an oracle. We don't disclose the procedures that we have to solve disputes, but we have like extensive like procedures to solve the disputes. So far, it's been so good, and yeah, we solve disputes usually.
Yesterday, in the first day of the conference, you announced that Hodl Hodl goes open source. So I wanted to ask you, why did you decide that, and when do you expect it to happen?
Yeah, well, open source just give us more visibility and opportunity to show the code to our users so they understand that it's safe and secure to work through us. Also, open sourcing shows that we have a visibility and like everyone can check the code whether it works properly. We expect to do that actually most probably end of this year, beginning of the next year. And like, it's not a surprise, many successful companies in Bitcoin actually are open source, so there's no difference. The question, however, is your reputation, your experience, and your team. You can basically clone, I don't know, many open source projects, but whether you will be successful with it is a question. So with Hodl Hodl, we're not afraid that somebody will clone us and make a competitor, because we have already an outstanding reputation within community. People knows us, people know how we're experienced with that, and people know that our team is very skilled.
Is there some kind of like fear of government pressure or policies pressure behind also this decision of open source and make it survive, or this kind of things?
No, there's no fear, but it's just a plan B in case someone will try to do something with Hodl Hodl. The code is open source, and like our followers and our customers will be able to just clone it multiple times, and it just create like less security risks for us as well. So it's just the system will be like a bit more decentralized, a bit more distributed, and it's safer for everyone and for our users as well.
My last question is kind of a question of where we are going, no? And we have seen that after every bull run of Bitcoin, like governments have started to look more into it, and they have started to push exchanges to KYC, AML policies. So I wanted to ask you if you believe that in the future, after the next bull run that might take us to the 100K or whatever, if we will still have DEXs, decentralized exchanges, without KYC.
Well, I think that I cannot predict future, but I think that yeah, we will have decentralized exchanges or semi-decentralized exchanges without KYC AML, because still the government and the people behind the government don't understand how it's working. So how it's working with a non-custodial way, because we don't hold any funds. We barely can move something from the escrow. We only can move it with the agreement from one of the sides. So basically, we're just serving as an independent oracle. So I doubt that they will be able to do that. And there's also always a BISC, which is like fully decentralized. Every system has its own flows, but each day makes like Bitcoin system and the companies within the Bitcoin system just stronger and stronger.
Okay, Max, so thank you for joining in this first English podcast, and I am really looking forward to see what comes to Hodl Hodl in the future and in the next Honey Badger editions. Thank you for everything.
Cool. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me come to next Honey Badger. Cheers.